Welcome back to Steele and Vance. Premier John Horgan is our co-host guest for the last half hour here on the program. And honestly, in the break, Lynda, you get to ask the first question because I literally said, stop, don't talk, save the juice for the show. So,
excuse me. What I wanted to talk about was the fact that there's so much nasty rhetoric out there, so much polarization.
Yeah.
And I know that you've faced some of it too. We had the Port Coquitlam Mayor Brad West on. He revealed to us that someone had been threatening to kill his wife, his children.
Yeah.
What is going on and what have you experienced?
Well, I had some people camped out on my driveway when I wasn't there, terrifying my wife, who has no interest in any of this stuff. We deliberately separate our lives from politics, and somebody's calling me a war criminal and knocking on her door. What's she supposed to do about that?
What do you mean a war criminal?
Well, apparently I don't know what the issue was of the day, but I was somehow single-handedly responsible for some awful thing that these people felt it was appropriate that they would come and invade our house. So that was one example. But I think of Bonnie Henry, who is one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life, and I've met lots of people. The way she is treated by these folks who believe that the internet has told them that somehow those who believe that a global pandemic should be addressed by public health measures are somehow misguided, and that's being charitable.
criminal levels of harassment, is what we're witnessing here, and an escalation as such.
Yeah.
Like when you've spent decades in politics, as you said, like you chose this sport. Like when we choose media, we choose some polarization comes with the job. But this is all next level.
Well, and again, you want to yell at me, fair enough. You want to yell at my colleagues, absolutely. But and come to the legislature, which is a built-in place to make your point, where media can cover that point and chronicle it for the public. So if you want to make a point, you don't have to be kind about it. I get that. The louder, the more vociferous, maybe you're going to get a longer clip. But you're not going to get a clip if you're screaming at the guy holding the camera or the woman with the microphone in her hand. So the level of anger at those who are trying to tell the story of the human condition is really extraordinary. We elect people for their judgment, and sometimes they make bad judgments. But most of the time, we have so many checks and balances built in that we protect ourselves. We've got an official opposition that says, hey, wait a minute, you're misguided on that. We've got media who cover those stories. We talk to community members, and you tell those stories about their disappointment. That's how change happens. It doesn't happen by gluing yourself to a roadway. It doesn't happen by stopping people from getting to their appointments that they don't even know what you're talking about. These people that are disrupting families, go away, leave me alone. I live by an adage: you wouldn't worry what people thought of you if you knew how seldomly they did. Because most people are getting on with their stuff. And they elect people and say, go fix things. And at the end of 4 years, they pass judgment on how well you did. That's our system. And in that 4 years, we yell back and forth at each other. We try and draw attention to each other for our partisan reasons. Okay, good enough. But those who are chronicling it, the media, they're just chronicling it. They don't have a position. They have values, but very rarely do those shine through. And when I look at the polarization in the United States, when they can't agree on whether it's night or day, I take some comfort in that we're not there yet, but we're certainly heading in that direction, and that causes me great concern. As I step away from this, I worry for those who, why would you put your hand up and say, I'd like to try that? And the only way we're going to get through the many challenges, whether it's homelessness, a toxic drug supply, making sure we're building up our public healthcare system so that we can continue to be proud as Canadians that certainly we're doing our best to keep each other safe and healthy. No one's going to want to participate in that. And that will just lead to the system crumbling, and that's where the anarchists and the chaos agents and the Trumpians, that's all they do, is that they disrupt. They don't offer solutions, they just disrupt.
Exactly. I want to get to one more question from a regular British Columbian, and I think it's interesting, so listen to this.
Premier Horgan, while you've left the province with a stable government and a long list of accomplishments, what's one thing that you'd want to do over on?
Oh, good question.
Mulligan time.
Lots of do-overs. I'd like, first of all, before politics, I would have liked to have been another foot taller and played in the NBA. I can't do anything about that. But one issue that really I was saddened in the way I handled it was the Royal BC Museum. So important to all of us, to our national, our provincial treasures, 7 million artifacts and documents. And I thought that everyone had the same level of understanding of the challenge that I did. And that was partly pandemic because we weren't communicating in the same way. I'm Victoria-based. I see the museum as a tourism attraction as one part, and certainly the tourist economy depends on it. But for me, it was more important than that. I got a couple of degrees in history. I think it's really important. And I just completely misread the public on that. And I would have preferred to have had a longer runway to say, we need to think about this. And the price tag was astronomical. And so the public immediately responded. And I pulled back because, first of all, you should admit when you make a mistake. That's what my mom told me. And that's what you should all do.
Bless your mom.
Yes.
Bless
well, all moms, but
mom.
mine in particular. But more importantly, it was, okay, let's figure out where to go. And the awareness of the issue now is higher than it's ever been. That's good news. The bad news is that it was used as a political club. And I just was not prepared, all of the people that care so much, the people that work there, the people that go there, to have it become something that opponents would use as a symbol of incompetence. Like, it just wasn't fair to the institution or the people in it. So if I could have a do-over, it would be having more time to explain to people how important the museum is for all of us, not just today, but well into the future.
Premier John Horgan, we wish nothing but the best for you and long walks on the beach or whatever you
just
and your
John at the
family are
garage
gonna
sale.
do.
Yeah. John from Langford.
And we're so happy that you joined us. It was great fun and it went by way too fast.
Come back when you're done.
Yeah.
Right?
When you're done.
We'll pour you more tequila.
More tequila? Sounds good to me.
And we would like to say thank you so much to our sponsors from Twist Fashions and Lord Shoes.
Right, and the team behind the scene. We got Derek and Nina and Handsome Brad, of course, behind the scenes, making it all happen. And make sure you join us right back here at 8 o'clock on Thursday. Make it a great week. Stay safe out there.